Hey guys, former prop trader. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I saw some tough news today. So in Massachusetts, the eviction moratorium expired yesterday, Saturday, October 17th. And yeah, if you're a renter and you can't pay your rent, as it stands right now, you're probably gonna get evicted. At the same time, Massachusetts housing prices are selling at about record highs, and mortgage delinquency rates are at near 20-year highs, just as every economist would have predicted. So to kind of recap here, and granted, I know for mortgage delinquency rates, like, yeah, there's a lot of ways to measure it. It's not just, there's serious, there's early stages, what day or what duration you want to look at, all sorts of stuff. And even then, with all the protections that are in there right now for homeowners versus foreclosures, there's a lot of different weird ways the data is being measured now in ways that it's not usually measured. But all that being said, what you have in housing, if, like, let's say you're a landlord, your product, your asset is your house, and you're selling it, or you're offering it as kind of a service to your tenant. So kind of in a business sense, when you're selling a product or service, you need customers. What we're seeing right now is that a record number of customers cannot afford your product. For a lot of businesses, in normal times, that would mean that the value of your business goes down. That's not what we're seeing. What we're seeing is home prices, in this case the business in my little analogy, are at record highs. What framework are economists or business schools, how exactly are they going to teach this? The whole way of looking at things, just nothing's making sense. Any model you're looking at, even from 10 years ago, it's obsolete. And that's even before you get to the political kind of ramifications here, because, man, there's going to be some major political and societal ramifications. I don't know exactly what they're going to be. I don't know when it'll happen, but, man, like, so in 2008, 2009, the great financial crisis, a ton of major companies got bailed out. When it came to ordinary people, not so much. Right now, seeing pretty much the same thing, except in some cases way worse. I was reading another article showing that, like, yeah, I mean, this eviction crisis that keeps getting pushed out, except in Massachusetts, they're saying, no, let's do this, like, right now. It wasn't nearly as bad during the great financial crisis, around the time I was graduated from college, getting my job offer rescinded. But yeah, now, man, the economy, it was on real shaky footing for the bottom 80% of Americans even prior to the pandemic hitting. And now when the pandemic hits, it's real bad. I mean, it was even prior to this whole thing starting, the pandemic, it was, 40% of Americans could not afford like a $400 cash emergency. Then the pandemic hits. Kind of politically, what, granted, there's a lot of, animosity and emotion right now in politics, as, there usually is, but, economically, if you're hit hard during this crisis as an average person, a lot of times you don't recover. I mean, that's the story for a lot of people who got smoked by the 2008 financial crisis, basically my generation. It's going to be the case again, for Gen Z, millennials, just a ton of people. And you can keep getting people mad about cultural issues, but, man, eventually it's like, yeah, but I can't pay rent. And, when you just see how easy it is for the government to bail out businesses, pretty much no debate needed, just, print 4 trillion. When it comes to stimulus for the average person, man, it's It's political football right now. You know, certainly a lot of blame to be shared on either side of, you know, how divisive it is and how they're all trying to gain political points while a bunch of people are suffering. And I don't think it's going to, you know, impact this election too much. I mean, what I'm trying to say is I think people have their minds made up for this election. But man, like 2024 and beyond, you know, it's going to be really interesting. The coalitions that could develop, and for how much people are hurting, they might start saying like, yeah, I don't care what narrative you're trying to sell me. I can't afford my insulin. I can't afford to have a kid. While all the major companies got bailed out. It's a real tough time, but things are changing really fast. The models we're using to analyze everything, you kind of got to throw them out the window. There's just no precedent. There's nothing to extrapolate from. It's not stopping the experts from prognosticating about what's going to happen next, about their expert opinions. Some would argue their expert opinions are what got us here in the first place. Anyway, former prop trader, thanks for watching.